Welcome back to AFTV, everyone, and welcome to the Starting 11 show. It's Everton versus Arsenal. It's Goodison Park, and it's been 2 weeks since we last kicked the ball in the Premier League. That last-minute winner by Eddie Nketiah, they got us a massive 3 points. But we're back at it after FA Cup action last weekend, and we're here to welcome Stricto. Welcome, Stricto. Good to see you. We've here Laurie as well, and of course we've got Dylan. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's Arsenal, it's Everton, it's back to the Premier League, and apart from the bit of fun we all had watching Chelsea and their £600 million squad not score a goal against Fulham, we are actually kind of almost starting off the weekend, you know, with obviously City playing tomorrow, with a lot of big games as well later this weekend. But let's go into it. Let's just quickly ask how everyone's feeling. Dylan, welcome. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. I'm excited for today. Honestly, Everton, it's always a place. It's hard to go. It's always like in the last 5 years, it's traditionally been a place that we struggle at, but today I'm confident, as I am in most games this season, that we'll manage to pick up all 3 points, and hopefully we do it convincingly. Realistically, I want to see a few goals today.
Laurie, tough place to go?
Similar. Obviously we know that Everton have appointed a new manager. Their only appointment of the transfer window, it seems.
Yes.
I'm one of those, I'm thinking that there will be a new manager bounce, because I do rate Sean Dyche. However, I'm still backing Arsenal to come through and win.
What about you, Stricto?
Yeah, more or less the same thing. Two sides both fighting for different things. So obviously we're fighting for greater things. They fighting for for survival. Yeah, like Laurie said, like the new manager bounce thing is real, but not today.
No.
Nah.
do you think it makes a difference that almost if we're playing like 11th away, maybe there's a little bit of complacency or maybe there's a degree of comfort, but with Everton you know that they're just going to fight tooth and nail for everything?
I think the difference this season is like we don't take any game lightly. I think like we've gone into literally every game with the same mindset, have to win, and it could be the 12th place, it could be 15th place, 19th place. The goal is still the same. We have to win, we have to stay focused. It's been the same all season, and that's why we are where we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, as always, this amazing watch along is brought to you by NordVPN, powered by NordVPN. It's a cold morning in Everton. However, I've got to ask...
It's a cold morning in London.
Well, it is, that's true. But I've got to ask, is it raining in Everton?
Well, it depends. Is Ty there? Because you know it's always raining when Ty's there.
Okay, Ty. Let's go over this once again. Why do you think you're unable to access new content on your favourite streaming services?
It was raining that day. We mustn't forget that it's been raining, so the pitch is quite...
It's been raining? Yeah. Are you being serious?
Okay, how did you end up with harmful malware on your laptop? Was that rain as well?
Actually, I had nothing to do with the rain.
Oh, good.
It was snowing. It's a disgrace.
Really, Ty? And what about that Nigerian prince phishing scam?
Robbie, good news. I'm coming to Qatar. I've just had an email from a Nigerian prince. He's offered me £4 million to help with some money transfers. Spurs fans. And it was too humid.
Ty, what you need is NordVPN.
NordVPN?
Yes. Think of it as an umbrella, but just for your online activities.
I like umbrellas.
Great. It's going to protect you from the unpredictable weather conditions within the online world.
Really?
Yes. You'll be protected from harmful malware, viruses, and hackers.
Spurs fans as well?
Yes, especially if they're sending you phishing scams.
Anything else?
It's super fast, so you can virtually fly into different countries.
Just like Mary Poppins?
Exactly. And you can use it on up to 6 devices.
Eh?
Oh, sorry, I mean you'll have 6 different umbrellas that allow you to fly through the internet, protected with complete freedom at the touch of a button.
You, sir, are not a disgrace. Thank you.
Remember, with the AFTV special, you can get a bonus gift and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to nordvpn.com/AFTV now.
Julian again doing his good work with Ty after helping out Lee as well. As always, be invincible whatever the weather by scanning the QR code or hitting the link in the description below to get the AFTV special as well. All right, let's go into it. It's Everton. It's It's not just Everton, it's Sean Dyche's Everton. It's the first time we're going to see a Sean Dyche Everton. We've seen the pictures of the bleep test going round. We've seen that, we've seen that he's going to work them hard. There's no question about that. But do you fear a reinvigorated Everton just on the back of the fact that they've got a manager that they probably believe in more than any they've had for a while, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I must say that when the two names were up for the job, Dyche and Bielsa, and it seemed at one point they were leaning towards Bielsa.
Yeah.
I was thinking from an outsider, what are you lot doing? Because his job is screaming for Sean Dyche to come in and not just the hard work, but he's famous for organising teams. I think I even heard Vincent Kompany's taken over Burnley from Sean Dyche, and he said that he gives Sean Dyche a lot of credit for laying the foundations for him to come in and take over. But listen, today's game, we didn't beat them last year.
No. Yeah. We didn't beat them the year before that.
Exactly, so it's always going to be a difficult game.
Yeah.
You add the fact that Sean Dyche will undoubtedly make a difference. But you know what? I'm with Stricto. I think every time this team, the Arsenal team that is, more often than not, when they've been presented with a challenge, they overcome it. We are where we are in the league tables for a reason.
Exactly.
Arsenal are top for a reason. Everton second bottom for a reason. So I'm expecting the first 15, 20 minutes to be very hard. But I think once Arsenal score, which I'm sure they will at some stage, I think the confidence that they'll have will be enough to see them over the line.
We know that Partey went off with a rib injury against City. We haven't really heard too much. Well, okay, some reports saying that he should be fine for Everton, but I don't think anything's been sort of confirmed or denied regarding his availability. Of course, we brought in Jorginho on deadline day. I know Cecil wants to chat about that with me. So we'll leave that for the start of the watch-along, the Jorginho incoming discussion. But I do want to ask how you feel about that Partey injury and whether you think it'd be too soon to integrate a Jorginho and not take the risk with Partey's injury.
If Mikel Arteta thinks he's fit, then he's fit. If the medical team think he's fit, then he plays. He's a better player than Jorginho. He's Arsenal as well. It's going to take me a while to get over the fact that Jorginho's an Arsenal player now.
You feel that way as well?
He's got to earn my respect, to be honest. Jorginho.
Really?
He's got. I don't care what he's won. He's got to earn Arsenal fans' respect.
2,000,000% with you.
Oh, let's just do it now. Sorry, Seth.
Respect.
All right, let's talk about why is that?
Because he to me, he's Chelsea through and through. He's won the Champions League with them. He's won the Europa League with them against us in a final where they smashed us 4-1. I mean, to me, he's a Chelsea player, but he's an Arsenal player now. We have to get behind him, which I will. I'm happy to get behind him because, he's one of ours now. But like I said, he's got a point to prove with us.
Wasn't he once taunting the Arsenal fans?
Yeah, I was
London
there
is blue.
at the Emirates when he scored the last-minute goal.
Was he taunting the Arsenal fans?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember he should have been sent off that game.
That game
was a
Mustafi,
disgrace.
yeah.
But
I mean, so was Trossard.
I must admit, when I heard, I think we spoke, Jay.
Yeah.
When I heard that, when I woke up that morning, because I had a late night and I got
Playboy life,
that was on.
The Playboy life.
Seriously, I had to look at my phone twice. I was like, rah. Even though there were rumours that we might be in for it.
The rumours came out the night before, and I thought rubbish.
Yeah,
I woke up to it. Here we go. And oh man!
I woke up and I'm like, what? Rah! It actually woke me up out of bed, and I must admit, I was.
Wake up. Jorginho's.
You know one of them when you look at your phone in the morning and you can't believe it.
Yeah, you gotta rub your eyes.
And I have to say that, well, to say I was underwhelmed is an understatement. Yeah. I'm not going to say the two words I said when I saw that.
But the thing is, one thing I will mention, and I thought about it, he's not going to come in to play over Partey or Xhaka in a full-strength team. He's going to come in and add depth. At least he has got, whether we like it or not, he has got a winning record. So
I was going to go on to say that after speaking to people like James, Robbie, one or two other people, I kind of calmed down. People started sending me stats and although I like to use my eyes to judge a player rather than stats, the stats are quite impressive. But I must admit, it was a hard sell for me at first, man. I'm not going to lie.
Same for you?
Yeah, of course. I tell you why I was even a harder sell, You go in, so you go to bed, you'll see like, okay, we're going for a third bid for Moises Caicedo. So you're like, okay, cool. So wait to see what happens tomorrow. And then you hear Jorginho, and it's like, this must be a joke. Because we're going in for a third bid for this guy. So what I'm trying to understand is how is he a backup for Partey? The two are not similar in any way, shape or form. And if you look in our midfield, energy, legs, engine room. Like that's engines. He's not any of that.
I agree.
And people will talk about what he's got eye for a pass and he's intelligent and all of that stuff. But let me take you back to the game against Man United, right? There was a part of the game when Anthony was through on goal, and Partey done some Usain Bolt sprint. When is Jorginho doing that?
I mean,
how is Jorginho? I see a clip of Jorginho being outran by the referee.
Oh yeah, no, that video. I mean, Xhaka's not the fastest either.
No, Xhaka's not the fastest. But Arteta's adapted Xhaka to a bit more advanced, so that he's not being caught out.
Yeah, but you know why that works? Because he's got the runners around him.
Right.
So let me flip it then. Let me flip it. Lokonga came on against Man City. He's now got his loan to Palace, and I'm really happy for him.
Yeah.
He does have the legs. He does have a lot of dynamism and ability, but his positioning, his understanding of where to be in that defensive midfield role is so off that it doesn't matter whether you've got the legs or not. So the one thing about Jorginho is when you look at his tackles, interceptions, and those kind of raw defensive stats for this season alone, they're actually quite good because at least his positioning's good.
I mean, okay, cool.
I'm playing devil's advocate because I agree. He does lack a bit there.
I think the problem with Sambi is he's got the ability, because you don't come from another country to come to this country and play for a team like Arsenal. He's clearly got the ability. I think where he's lacking is confidence and possibly game time. So, but with Jorginho, all right, cool, I'll flip it back to you. Jorginho's left the team sitting ninth. Everyone talks about his accolades. He's won European Cups. He's won
But they were happy to let him go.
But they're sitting ninth. Yeah. Jorginho's Chelsea is at 10th now. Well,
and they were 10th when they let him go, and they were happy to let him go.
Right, and
I don't think they were happy to let him go.
No, they were happy to let him go.
No,
I'll tell you where the unhappiness was from.
I think that's a bit of a thing that we're sort of telling.
No, I'll tell you what the unhappiness was from. He's been a good servant to them. That's where the unhappiness is from. But in terms of like his football, he's nothing without Kante.
James, can I just pick you up on that? So you don't think that Chelsea did one of them when they got the call that they were like,
I hate him.
No, it's one of them where they covered up the final man and said, yo, they want Jorginho.
What I think happened is they have made a lot of signings. Enzo was coming through the door. They're basically going to pay that £105 million release clause. And they sort of thought, well, we kind of have to do it. But if you look at the comments coming out, Kukurea was pretty shocked that the transfer went ahead, that he left. Thiago Silva said it was a shock to everyone. He's a massive leader in there. I think there's, you listen to Chelsea fans, most of them, content creators as well, that I was watching, getting their reactions. They're all saying, like, okay, like, we've had a good window, we're bringing in Enzo, so ultimately I'm happy. But I'm not sure this is the player I'd wanted to have lost to accommodate for these players.
I would just pick you up on that messages on my phone.
That leadership thing, I think, okay, listen, there are people out there that know him better than I know him, right? So if they say he's got great leadership skills, then fine. But let me ask you, James, are we struggling for leadership skills at the moment in the team?
No.
We've got some strong characters in that team.
I agree with that.
Odegaard, Xhaka, Partey.
But Jorginho is a winner. He has won the elite honours.
Tini's
All I'll say is, and we have discussed it in length, so we won't do too much more on it, but I've said that I'm underwhelmed as well. Like, I'm playing a bit of devil's advocate. I'm also underwhelmed. I agree. He's not the profile of number 6 that we've had in the team. Even now, Elneny's got more kind of dynamism and can be sort of relied on. So I agree. It feels like a strange profile to go for, considering what Arteta had a lot of success with Partey and Elneny. But the one thing I'd say is, I've seen this guy play in a base of a midfield 3 for Italy. I've seen this guy start Champions League finals for Chelsea and deliver. He's delivered. He's delivered on the biggest stage. Sure, but we're not asking him to play the remaining 19 games. We're asking him to do a job when necessary. So
we'll find out.
For 12 million, I think there's a nice balance there, and where Arsenal probably haven't got the one they wanted, but they've certainly got someone who, providing we're all right on the injury front.
I'll tell you one positive: if we win penalties, then we'll be okay, because he's got a 94%.
Although I
still want Saka to take the penalty.
Oh yeah,
I still.
Okay, so
I don't know. He's an expert penalty taker.
I've seen him miss those jump and skip things. Listen, let me not make it look like I hate this guy. He's an Arsenal player. He's one of us, so we back him. But I'm just talking about my initial reaction to the breaking news.
I wouldn't mind betting what's a conservative estimate? 70% of Arsenal fans would have had similar feelings, because I know I did, you did, James not so much.
We also
So
did.
there you go, 3 out of 4. That's
Yeah.
75%.
We also did about Ramsdale. We also weren't sure about the White fee. We also weren't sure about Erdegaard over Madison. So hopefully
know.
this
I
is
thought
just
this is
another one.
Those signings are
I
different though,
think-
because
I think this is
Jorginho. Yeah,
different.
it's different because
Why?
with Jorginho, it's less a doubt of his ability. It's more a thing of like
The
Chelsea are
Chelsea
giving
thing
him
again.
to us. He's been with Chelsea.
We've
Chelsea
been here
through with
before.
And
Ben White,
don't forget as
Ramsdale.
well, there's been a bit
Yeah.
of a Chelsea curse in it.
Yeah.
You look at
exactly.
some of the signings recently.
Well,
That was
Willian
interest-
man of the match yesterday.
Yeah,
What
well, I
was
was just
Mikel
about to
thinking?
ask.
Not-
I was
Mikel
about
was
to bring
right.
up Willian. He's actually one of the few that's got better.
The best
Not on
player on the pitch, the best winger on the pitch in that game yesterday was the one Arteta signed.
Well, some would argue that
It's
that
true.
Marcus
No, I
Silva's
don't
getting the
doubt
best
that.
out of him, and I couldn't.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Because
yeah.
in one game, he performed better than
trying to
one.
make a good point, Stricto, can you not? All right, let's leave that all there. In 10 minutes, we're going to find out whether Partey's fit enough to start or whether we're going to
He
get
should start.
Jorginho.
It's only some ribs, isn't it? Like,
No, they said he was fit to play.
It's only a core part of you.
yeah, but
Your body.
he's a big, strong lad, man.
Oh,
Well,
hopefully he's
to
all
that
right.
Jollof, he should be.
So that's why I keep talking about Ghanaian Jollof, but no one don't listen to me, man.
Listen,
Don't
man,
give me
he's
that
gonna
power.
play. He's
They
gonna
don't give me that power.
Tried Congolese jollof.
No, what the hell is that?
What about
Scottish Jollof. Have you tried Scottish Jollof?
Congolese, not Scottish.
what about Trossard? Looked good against Man City.
Trossard, yeah.
Another player who could. I think if both players, I love Martinelli. So happy he's got his new deal, deserves it.
Yeah.
I love him to bits. But I think Trossard could push him this season.
Me too.
Yeah.
But that's what we wanted. We wanted competition for the both of them. Trossard, he's older than Martinelli. He's got more experience than Martinelli. But Martinelli, again, he's one of our own. There's no reason to drop him right now. Trossard has come in for about 27 million. But, I mean, Martinelli, he hasn't really given us any reason to drop him. So I don't know why at the moment you would take him out of the team. I understand against Man City is in the Cup. So I expected Trossard to start against Man City. But in the Premier League, I don't see why Martinelli drops to the bench, especially after just signing a new deal.
I think it's a scenario where you can play both of them in the same game and you'll still have quality. I mean, Martinelli, we've watched him for years now. Very physical, athletic, dynamic, very aggressive when he's on it. Trossard, not as dynamic, but maybe a little more cerebral and scores more goals overall, I think, although Martinelli's got 7 this season, which is decent. So, listen, the Trossard sign, I'm very positive about.
And don't forget, Trossard scored most of his goals against big teams. So he's occasion ready. Do you know what I mean? We need.
I was very positive about that.
Yeah, so so was I. So I look forward to that. To the competition because I feel like Martinelli didn't have competition. I think even like the last 2 games, I felt like his levels dropped against Tottenham and against even United. I was begging for him to be taken off against United. I think he came.
Listen, if Martinelli's not having a great day, or if the manager wants to make a tactical switch, if you're the fullback, you see Martinelli come off and Trossard come on, you've still got your work cut out.
Problem.
Yeah, Tasha asks, why would you change your winning team? And that's fair enough. I can't imagine any of the new signings are going to come in and be seen as that immediate upgrade to the first 11. They'll have to earn their place because everyone's been doing so well. Otherwise, there's no other real positions in the starting 11 that Tomiyasu and White, maybe. Obviously, White didn't get minutes against Man City, then he came off struggling against United. But you've got to think if he's fit, that White will be relied on because one bad game out of 19 in the league isn't reason to rotate too much in that position, is it?
No, that was tactical, man. He had a yellow card against a thriving Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
I think if you look at what happened to United with Casemiro, where he didn't get hooked off early enough, and he eventually got the yellow card. So I think Arteta probably looked in that for, what, let me hook him off before, because we haven't really had a sending off this season.
I don't think we have. Touch wood.
So I think Arteta, get ahead of the game, bring Tomiyasu in, who when he came in his levels was up there. You know what I'm saying? He played really well.
Yeah.
So I think as well, Dylan alluded to it earlier, if you're going to challenge for the title as we're doing, it's important to have strength in depth. And Man City over the years, they've been a perfect example where they've had one player comes out, another one goes in and can just seamlessly come in and make an impact. So to have strength in depth, have people fighting for spots. Yeah. I mean, Tierney and Zinchenko's another one. That, to me, that represents success when you've got 2 quality players competing for the same place.
That's right.
Keeps everyone on edge.
I agree. Well, I've just got here some Everton. Well, I've got the Everton squad. Just to have a little look at, who could potentially be in this first Sean Dyche level. We'll talk about Dyche in a sec. 6 minutes to the lineups. But Jordan Pickford, right? He's the England goalkeeper. Players like Tarkowski, Yerry Mina, Ben Godfrey, Connor Cody. Some decent players there that have, more than played their part in the Premier League. Onana, who we were linked to, 40, 50 million. Chelsea will look at him as well. Decore has had more than an impressive Premier League career. Did well at Watford as well. The likes of Alex Iwobi has been rejuvenated recently at Everton. Idrissa Gueye. And then that front three, Dwight McNeil did well for Burnley under Sean Dyche, funnily enough. Damari Gray, who's got a goal in him. Calvert-Lewin. The point I'm trying to make is, for the problems they've got, you can see how a manager can come in and get them going again.
I mean, they're not... Everton, on paper, are not a shit team.
No, I agree.
The players you've just named can slide into any of the top 8, top 9 teams. So it's probably a mentality thing. You're going for a rock, and Lampard is struggling to get them going again. So I think someone like Sean Dyche will come, have you sitting up straight, posture. Do you know what I'm saying? All those kind of things. But like I said in the beginning, not today. That bounce ain't happening today, because it's gonna need to take a lot to change that mentality overnight.
Yeah, well, one thing you said earlier, you mentioned that today's going to be a fight. I think you named the quality on that team there. I think the real reason they're at the bottom this season is because there's not enough fight in that team. There's clearly quality in that team, and they should be in the top half of the table if we're being honest. But the obvious problem they've had this season is that the players do not fight hard enough. So the fact that Sean Dyche might be able to come in and change that, then yeah, they could be a dangerous opposition. However, he's only been in charge about less than a week, so I don't know if he's had enough time to fully
implement
get his
It's interesting with Everton because they were in this kind of position last year. They just about stayed up. Yeah,
pitch invasion when they stayed up.
I'm at a loss to explain. Not that it's my problem, but I'm looking at, you read out the players that they've got. There's some real quality there, man. And you think to yourself, how are you in that situation? And we did the transfer show a couple of days ago, and there was an Everton fan.
Yeah, Mike on DR Sports.
And he spoke very
brilliant.
eloquently about Everton. He was saying that he thinks it's a case of Lampard asking players to do things that they're not naturally doing. This kind of total football thing. It's not working. So you get someone like Sean Dyche, I would imagine, he's going to come in and he's going to restructure things, and he's just going to make them hard to beat, solid.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got people like Damari Gray, Calvert-Lewin up front who can get your goals. So
the one thing there'll be, I thought Gary Neville's analysis in game of the Fulham-Chelsea game was spot on. Fulham player 4-4-2 against a Chelsea side. They have a lot of midfielders, a lot of quality, and the way their kind of wingers tucked in to make it really condensed. I could see, people say, well, what can Sean Dyche do in 5 days? But I can see him very quickly implementing just a good defensive structure and just saying, instinctively do what you can going forward, but defensively get into a good shape, and they'll find you hard to break down.
And that's why it's important we do not go down, because then they'll have. That's
true.
I imagine
that took the words right out.
I imagine that's what he would have. They would have been training this week. All right, lads, try nick a goal, set pieces. He's got some big boys like in that team. That team actually isn't far off his Burnley team in terms of physicality. You mentioned Yeremina,
Tarkowski, you got Cody, you got Calvert-Lewin.
Wait, I'm going to say that name.
Tarkowski.
James, what's his name? James.
Tarkowski.
Tarkowski.
3 syllables. Tarkowski.
Add that to the list of Robbie. Robbie, but
they've got those type of players, maybe a bit better quality than Burnley, but Dwight McNeil, who he's worked with. So
Connor Cody, England international, went to the World Cup.
Exactly.
These are decent players. Yerry Mina's Colombian international.
Pickford's
one of the best, if not the best goalkeepers in the country.
After Ramsdale,
arguably.
Wow.
No, arguably.
Speaking of that, Francis of the Super Chat says Stricto was bashing Ramsdale then. Who will you have signed to simply replace Elneny? Jorginho better than Elneny, hands down.
I would agree with that.
Jorginho better than Elneny.
Well, yeah, but
in some aspects. But all around, I don't think so.
You know what? I think Elneny is very underrated. And while I think Jorginho probably is in terms of us having the ball and everything, I think this whole, Jorginho's a guaranteed upgrade on Elneny. I'm a bit like, is he though? He is. He's better.
He's a better footballer, but
Yeah.
I think maybe Elneny at this stage of his career has more athleticism.
No, he is better. He is better. But I just think this whole, like, we've obviously upgraded massively. I think it's a bit harsh on Elneny. I always think Elneny's always
He's only there because I know he's injured.
Well, true. The 11th out
Elneny thing's an
in 1
interesting
minute.
one, though, isn't it? Because let's be honest, bro, like, and this is no disrespect to Elneny. I admire the guy. He's done well at Arsenal overall.
No disrespect. Usually is the start of a disrespect.
Yeah.
I know, which is why I'm trying to preface it. I just want to put my disclaimer in now. But let's all of us be honest. If Elneny went up for sale tomorrow, how many top clubs would be in the hunt for Elneny?
Honestly,
Yeah.
No.
none.
Top clubs done, but you might be able to get a
but the
decent.
key word is
You
top
might be able
I
to
think
get
you
a
get a decent
decent fee for him.
move.
Yeah,
I think you
decent
get
fee
a
for
decent
him.
move.
Top clubs.
To where?
He'll stay in the
Somewhere.
Prem. He could easily stay in the Prem.
Yeah. But you can get in and around 10 million.
Everyone, we have the 11 coming out any second. There's a super chat from Juwon who says, bring this Dylan kid more. Big up to you guys. Dylan, everyone's appreciating your contribution. It's fantastic. A little bit of news. Apparently Jorginho's on the bench, but we haven't got the full 11. It's coming through any minute now.
I didn't expect him to start anyway.
Which means, apparently Kozier Dubry arrived with the squad as well.
He's good. He's very good.
On the Arsenal,
He's very good youngster.
The reserve.
He played in the Juventus game just after the World Cup.
Is he that left-footed winger?
He was quality, yeah. Number 85, he's good. And I've seen a few clips of him playing in the...
He's Sackerish, isn't it? He's a bit Sackerish.
Yeah. Seen a few clips of him playing in the 23s. He's different level.
And it's in.
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsdale in goal.
No surprise.
Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes and Alexander Zinchenko.
Yes.
At the base of midfield, Thomas Partey. Alongside him, Martin Odegaard and Granit Xhaka, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and Eddie Nketiah.
Just what I thought.
Three.
Lovely.
I thought he was going to say Gabriel Jesus. You kind of.
No, but that one
How's
was
he
fun.
doing? He's back in.
He's running.
Yeah.
On the bench, Matt Turner, Kieran Tierney, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Rob Holding, Jakub Kiwior, Jorginho. I don't know what Jorginho's full, because Jorginho's a shortened of his. Anyway, Fabio Vieira, Leandro Trossard, and Kozier Dubry as well on the bench. There's some options there. Of course, no Smith Rowe, no Jesus, no Reece Nelson, but Trossard, Jorginho, Vieira. Some options you can bring on. Kozier Dubry has looked very exciting whenever we have seen him. So that is the 11, Laurie. It's
interesting you mentioned we were talking about athleticism and stuff like that. Kiwior, I'm hearing that this man's breaking all kinds of records.
Yeah, I've read that.
And sprint tests and all that type of
High
stuff.
jump and all that thing.
Yeah, jump tests and.
Did you see that Arteta quote? There was an Arteta quote on him saying that he can revolutionise the way we play or something, or change the way. There's something crazy. I mean, let me find it.
Well, when's he actually going to play a part? Because we're out of the FA Cup now, we're out of the Carabao Cup, and it doesn't look like Arteta has a plan to change his Premier League lineup that's
Europa League?
working so well for us right now. I know the Europa League, but the Europa League, we're going straight into the round of 16. We could realistically get a pretty good team. Is Mikel Arteta really going to chop and change the team too much in Europa League in the latter stages of it? Because I think we're pretty nailed on for top 4 in the Premier League, so Champions League qualification is not a massive issue right now, but I want to win a European title, to be honest. Like, that's one thing that everyone seems to have against us. I really want to win a Europa League this season. Like, it's not the Champions League, but it'd be really good to get it. Like, you know, we've never won it. So it's not a competition we should take lightly. So I don't know how much Mikel Arteta will chop and change the team.
I think he will. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Yeah, so this was the quote apparently from Mikel Arteta on Jakub Kiwior. He is a young talent with incredible potential that is going to help redefine our way of playing. And we didn't have a backup left-footed centre-back for the whole season. He rates him. Yeah. I think he might see certain home games as an opportunity to give Gabriel a rest. You know, there will enter a point where we're playing 3 games in 7-8 days.
Yeah.
We might play Sunday or Saturday, Thursday, Sunday, something like that. And I think he will go, have I got depth, like Trossard, like Jorginho, like Kiwior, that I can actually put into the 11 and know that at least the same level is going to be maintained.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one great example, if you remember the Newcastle game, and I remember looking at our bench was weak. Yeah. Very, very weak. There was no options there, so like we was trying to play like, you know, our usual play down the sides and bring it down, bring it through the middle, and at times you think, you know what, bring someone in with height, just change up a bit, because the Newcastle lads are quite big units.
Yeah.
And I think like now, if you look at the actual squad now, it's actually we've got the depth now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, Kiwior, I mean, I've yet to see him play, so I won't really speak on his style
Polish
of play.
international.
But was he in the World Cup?
Yeah, Lewandowski rates him highly. Lewandowski said he's a good player. But then again, company told us.
Company
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna leave him alone.
No, but you know what it is? I'll be like James. I'll be very interested to see how Sambi does at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I will too.
Because I'm going to say this. I thought Sambi was treated quite badly by the fans. I don't think the manager believed in him either. And all those things didn't help. He's a young lad at the end of the day. I think his confidence at Arsenal was shot to pieces. You saw he walked down the tunnel at our last game without acknowledging the fans. A lot of fans hammered him for that. I have some sympathy for him. And I'm hoping he does well at Palace.
I think we all are, innit?
I think there's definitely a player in there. I just think sometimes these things happen. He just didn't work out for him at Arsenal. He might go on loan and come back a much better player.
But one thing, as young players go, he is 23 years old, and one thing I have to say for Lokonga is that unlike a lot of youngsters in world football, he has had chances. He's had a lot of chances at Arsenal, and these aren't chances, you know, like the chances Fabio Vieira's been getting in the FA Cup, the Carabao, and it's kind of hard to play at like your best when you're in a team that's not full strength that you've come into. But Lokonga's had his chance, you know, Old Trafford away this season. He's had plenty of chances in the Premier League alongside the main players. It's not an easy place to go, but you know, he also, you know, last season we saw a lot of Lokonga in the Premier League. I've been saying I don't want to sell him yet. He needs to go out on loan. So I'm really hoping this loan can turn it around.
Well, look at Tavares. He went out on loan, and apparently he's done very well at Marseille.
He is doing well, yeah.
I just don't think he's got personality on the ball.
Who, Lokonga?
Yeah, just no personality with the ball.
I actually thought he played well against City. A lot of people said he was awful. I thought that was one of his best games. I thought that was one of his better games.
I thought, right, so it's funny. I think he lacked personality. I don't know if that's how I'd put it, but off the ball. Like, I think off the ball is where I'm like, I need more. On the ball, I actually think he switches the play. He can turn a player. I think he's confident shot. So we haven't seen it recently. But when he first arrived in the team, I thought he looks a bit of an all-action midfielder. I quite like it. But just as kind of, I think he lost his confidence a little bit and he's playing less. I think you've now seen him just a little bit more tentative about going into the tackle, going to the press.
But his preferred position was 8. He was playing primarily as a 6 at Arsenal. And for whatever reason, it just seemed like every time he had an indifferent game, the fans would just come down. And I don't know if it was harking back to the little behind-the-scenes footage we saw of him and Eddie.
Eddie goes.
I don't know where the genesis of this come from, but in every club there seems to be like a kind of scapegoat culture.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I've seen
with
worse.
Arsenal, he was the one that was getting.
I've seen worse players be given way more time by the fans. I agree. All right, let's do some score predictions, and then we will bring Cecil in for the watch-along a little bit later to discuss in more detail the starting 11, Sean Dyche as well, in fact, his first game. But Dylan, give us your score prediction.
I'm gonna go 4-0.
Oh
no, actually, no, I'm not.
Right.
I'm gonna go 2-1 to Arsenal. No, I'm gonna go 2-1.
That's a quick change.
I'm gonna go 2-1. Yeah, no, I remembered Sean. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Arsenal.
Well, I did the Talkie Cheap show with Curtis earlier in the week, and I said 2-0. I'm sticking by that. I do think, though, it's going to be a very tough game. I think we're going to have to grind this one out, but I'm still going for an Arsenal win, 2-0.
I'm going 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
5-0.
I think they definitely score. I've got a feeling they score.
Yeah.
Are you
You think we're going to
serious?
destroy it?
No, I think we would have battered it. 5-0.
I hope you're right.
But when the goals start going in,
Yeah, no, that's the thing. When the goals start going in, it's over.
Don't look at me when the goals start
When one goes in, it's over. Yeah.
You know what, though? I would say this. If we get a goal early, I could see, because nowadays the fans are planning a big demonstration today, and regardless of the new manager bounce, if we get a goal early, their confidence will likely dissipate very quickly, and the fans will probably get on the case.
And the game plan changes.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Sean Dyche's thing is, do not concede early.
But it's very rare you see a Sean Dyche team get whipped 5-0.
Well, you'll see it today. Stricto
I hope you're right.
Let's
see it today.
We've done it
I'm
before.
going 2-0.
We've done it before to a Sean Dyche team, only we were at the Emirates. London Nomad says, with Jorginho, we have players around him that will cover for him. He'll be amazing to see games out if Arteta will have a lot of possession. If he starts, I completely read that wrong. If he starts, we'll have a lot of possession. no fluidity. Okay, interesting. Thanks for your super chat. There's 8,000 of you watching. Unbelievable. Go hit the like button if you are enjoying the Starting 11 stream. Make sure you all come back for the watch along a little bit. Remember, this watch along, all this coverage is powered by NordVPN, keeping us invincible by powering this AFTV matchday experience. Remember, you can save money on your travels by shopping locally in your chosen destination. You just have to change your location in the app. There's over 5,000 servers to choose from. Scan the QR code or hit the link in the description below to get the AFTV special. Even Everton fans can get in on the action. It's all love. Don't forget to scan that QR code or click the link. All right, we'll be back in a little bit, about 20 minutes time for the watch along. Come join us then.
Listen, things ain't getting any cheaper. So if you're traveling a lot like me and you want to save money, you can do that with NordVPN. Once you have NordVPN, you can explore a lot of different price options for things like flights, hotels, entertainment, anything you want. Just use NordVPN to change your location. Why pay international prices when you can pay local prices? We save literally hundreds of pounds every time we follow Arsenal on tour. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link to be invincible.